Welcome to Neurology News Network. I'm Jenna Pasco.
And I'm Matt Hoffman. Let's get into the news from this week. Using a number of network meta-analyses, a systematic review has shown that ocrelizumab is superior, or at least comparable, to more than 10 currently available disease-modifying therapies for relapsing multiple sclerosis. As well, the safety profile of the humanized anti-CD20 monoclonal antibody was found to be similar to each of the DMTs included in the analysis. Investigators wrote that the findings support that ocrelizumab offers a complete and valuable package for the treatment of patients with RMS. They ranked the treatments by using surface under the cumulative ranking curve values, finding that 600 mg ocrelizumab ranked in the top 3 for annualized relapse rate, 12-week confirmed disease progression, and serious adverse events. For discontinuation due to adverse events, it ranked 7th.
The results of a phase 1 safety study recently published in Sleep determined when evaluating the impact of bedtime administration of lemborexant, a therapy under investigation for treatment of insomnia, there were no statistically significant or clinically relevant effects on next morning driving performance in adult and elderly healthy volunteers compared to placebo. Study 106, which evaluated the next morning effects of lemborexant 2.5 milligrams, 5 milligrams, and 10 milligram doses compared to placebo, was designed to evaluate the effect of lemborexant on driving performance after single and repeated bedtime use in healthy adult and elderly volunteers 23 to 78 years of age.
The FDA has notified Biohaven Pharmaceuticals that it is clear to proceed with its clinical investigation of BHV-3241, its novel myeloperoxidase inhibitor in development for the treatment of multiple system atrophy. Biohaven received the agency's May Proceed Letter following the reactivation of AstraZeneca's original investigational new drug application, once it acquired the licensing for the treatment in September 2018. Previously, it was known as AZD3241.
In a conversation with Neurology Live, Dr. Joseph Sullivan, the Director of Pediatric Epilepsy at UCSF Bennett Children's Hospital, spoke about what defines a clinically meaningful change in seizure frequency using data from the Phase 3 clinical trial of ZX008 for adjunctive treatment of seizures associated with Dravet syndrome. Let's take a look.
We actually did a secondary analysis of the patients from Study 1 and went back and looked at what percent of patients actually gave their a score of very much improved or much improved, so 1 or 2 on the clinical global impression of change, and we just a priori defined that as being clinically meaningful. So then we went back and tried to anchor that to what degree of seizure reduction is necessary to actually achieve that score of 1 or 2, and did a receiver operating characteristic curve and showed that 44% was kind of the magic number. So you needed to have a seizure reduction of 44% or greater in order to have a high likelihood of giving that score of 1 or 2. So that was nice because it kind of reinforces the whole 50% reduction in seizures as being a clinically meaningful endpoint. And so that when we put that line on our responder curve, 75% of the patients who received the 0.8 milligram per kilogram dose, so 75% of the patients actually achieved 44% seizure reduction or greater. So another way of saying that would be 75% had a clinically meaningful change in seizure reduction.
For more direct access to expert insight, head to neurologylive.com. This has been Neurology News Network. Thanks for watching.